Today we're going to look at something quite unique and extremely loud. For the longest time people have been asking me about the little mini Marshall amp in my little amp wall. Well, today we're going to check that out and I'm going to be brave and crank it full. I've never done this before because the amp is so loud. However, we're going to see if it can blow the cones out of a couple of unique and very interesting speaker cabs from Scott Dixon. John Dixon assures me that his speaker can cope, and even with the power horse amp that this is. Stick around and we'll find out if he's right or if we end up with some shredded Celestians. Coming right up. The Marshall JMP 2098 Lead 100 was built between 1974 and 1976 and is a rare and unique bit of Marshall amplifier history. It was the first ever transistor amp released for the public by Marshall. It has three inputs, input 1, input 2, and both linked and combined. There are two speaker outputs on the back, and so it was usually designed to complement a full Marshall stack of angled and straight cabinet. On the front it has master, presence, bass, middle and treble. It also has switches for cut and boost and the middle position for normal. And finally it has a volume control for each of channels 1 and 2. I've always been wary of this amp because when it's turned up it is very loud. I've never actually been brave enough to crank it fully, both for fear of getting complaints from the neighbours and also for the safety of my speaker cabinets. However, today we're really fortunate to have two very capable Scott Dixon speaker cabinets to try this amp out with, and I really hope that we're not going to end up blowing them up. While they're only 10 and 12 inch Celestian speakers, they're both rated at 360 watts of power handling, so allegedly they should easily be capable of handling the power delivered by this amp. I wasn't so sure, but I was looking forward to putting them to the test and seeing if they manage to cope or if we end up with their cones blown out and a shredded mess. To show you just how loud, I did download an app to measure and display the sound pressure in decibels, but we'll find out more about that later. However, first I was really keen to test the amp and speaker combination out at a sensible volume and show just what this amp is best at. That is the classic Marshall clean tone. I've been using the Scott Guitars Telecaster pretty much exclusively since I've had it to review, so that made the perfect test guitar too, with its lovely clean tones. It wasn't until recently that I found out by combining the two inputs along with the boost button gives the amp some pretty gritty fuzz style distortion. It's not your classic Marshall tube tone. The tone reminds me of the solo from the Carpenters song Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft. think in the comments section down below. I really enjoy reading your thoughts, and I'll try and respond to as many as I can. So let's go and have a listen to what I'm gonna call the fuzz tones. Okay, so you can hear it's not a classic Marshall valve tone by any stretch, but still a unique and usable tone in my opinion. I think it'd be great for Malcolm Young style chugging. And those Scott Dixon cabs sound really great and have a superb headroom at these low volumes. However, that's not what you came for and what you clicked on this video for, was it? It's time for me to do my Marty McFly impression. Time to crank this thing and see just how loud it can go and whether or not it'll blow up the speaker cabs. What's more, I decided to try it on the 10-inch speaker cab too. Oh dear, let's go and check it out. Wow, that was so loud, despite what the terrible decibel meter said on my phone. That really didn't work. It actually hurt my ears, and the double glazed doors were rattling on their hinges. Just to give you an idea of just how loud it got, I also just got a text from my neighbour asking if I was okay. Bearing in mind that the Scott Dixon cabs are rated at 4 ohms and that this Marshall delivers 100 watt into 8 ohms, this was like having 200 watts pumping out at 4 ohms. So I think we can safely say that the Scott Dixon cabs were more than man enough and up to the task of handling all that power. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like, and it can't hurt to subscribe if you're not already. I'll be back really soon with more of the very best content I can bring you, but in the meantime, as always my friends, you take good care.